Hey guys, I wasn't around much over the weekend, busy doing stuff. So anyhow, one of the things I get two comments on here a lot that I've really liked lately on some of my longer, not on my longer videos time wise, but on some of the longer trains that we run. Is I appreciate the comments from all you people telling me what a smooth running railroad that I have. I get that comment quite a bit now. Thank you so much for that. I've worked, I don't want to say hard, but I put some time into, even though we've used Bachman Easy Track, there's still problems that can come up. But using Bachman Easy Track and making sure my connections are good and whatever, I have been able to work a lot of the kinks out. And I think that for the most part, the railroad has gotten pretty smooth. Some rolling stock works better than others. I have an Atlas Conrail locomotive that cannot handle it's like a Jeep 42, and it cannot handle the switches on this layout. It just derails like crazy. But that Bachmann Jeep 35 over there at Mega Pizza, that locomotive's always done well for us. The Atlas switcher and the Atlas Blue Box GP40 over here has always done good or well. Isn't that right, sir? Right? Yeah. So, one of the other comments I get every now and then, and this is interesting too, is about our truck fleet. I had a gentleman comment on how I was lucky to have three. Actually, we have four of them. Mrs. Smith's trucks, which he said is a rarity. So I thought this might be a kind of a fun video to make to talk about the truck fleet here on the layout for a minute. One of the things I like to do that I have fun with is actually making truck fleets of all things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the truck fleet here over at Sun Valley Foods. So when you're making a truck fleet, we have to decide what industry that we're going to model. So this is Sun Valley Food Service, and they, distribute fresh and frozen foods to restaurants and nursing homes and hospitals and all that kind of thing. And when you're building a truck fleet for them, you have to think, well, what kind of trucks would they have? Well, they would probably for sure have a couple straight trucks like this. Here we've got a regular single axle straight truck for making deliveries in downtown areas or in parking and loading docks that are in parking garages underneath big skyscraper buildings in downtown. And then we have our bigger 10-wheeler trucks. Those are your tandem axle straight trucks. Those would be the same way. They would go bigger. They can haul a little bit more cargo, and that's the same thing. They would go to grocery stores and, well, not grocery stores, excuse me. They would go to restaurants and places downtown and nursing homes, hospitals, that kind of thing. And then you would even have 28-foot trailers for the slightly bigger routes. Usually the food distributors don't go much bigger than that. Sometimes they have 36 and 48-foot trailers. But usually 28 and 36 foot is about as big as it gets, because they have to be able to get into their stops and maneuver around. So when you're making a truck fleet for like a food service place, you want to use a lot of 28-foot trailers or 36-foot trailers or straight trucks. That's pretty common for food service places. Snyder of Berlin, these are just industrial contractors, ignore them. But I have this cutaway box truck here. And the reason I do is because potato chips usually come in step vans or like cutaway box trucks. that's a van. That's like a van cab and chassis where it's cut away after the seats, and then they put a cargo box on. Well, usually that's how potato chips get delivered to the store. They load them up in the back, and then when the guy gets to the store, he looks and sees what he thinks that he looks at the shelf. So say a guy from Cider Berlin goes to a grocery store, and say they have 7 items there. He'll look and see what they're out of or what they need. He'll go back to the truck, make an order up, check the order in with the receiver at the store. Then he'll rotate the stock and he'll rotate the old stuff up front, put the new stuff in the back, and then go about his merry way. Potato chip delivery is actually kind of bread and potato chips are kind of a hard thing to deliver because you got to be on, it's a lot to keep track of. It's not just, just dropping boxes off and see ya. You're rotating stock, you're checking dates. Sometimes you have to price tag the items. So that's something that, is to be, thought of. But that's what those industries usually use, step vans or cutaway box trucks. Because a lot of those guys anymore are, I'll say, independent contractors, kind of. They lease the truck from the bread company, from the chip company or whatever. A lot of them are, that's kind of their thing. So it's changed. But that's a common vehicle that like a potato chip plant would use. And actually, I'm probably going to make a potato chip truck fleet towards the latter half of this year over here. The ice cream factory is the ice cream factory. They would use straight trucks usually, but I don't have room to model that. Well, we could put something right there. Mega Pizza. There's one right there. There's one right there. And there's one right there. Mega Pizza, in this scenario, I have them as a supplier to the pizza industry, but that's a private truck fleet, and they are delivering pizza to their pizza equipment and store supplies to either their restaurants or their store or their other distribution centers. In this case, they're going to their other distribution centers. But you want to have, they have these tractor trailers. Probably this is a 40-foot trailer, I bet, in scale. And that would be used to go to their stores or to other distribution centers. I actually had to add the refrigerator and the tank. That did not come like that. I added that on. Here I have the vegetable processing facility. I have a 28 refrigerator trailer for deliveries. I have this trailer in there, the strict leaser. That's for storage. And then this straight truck, they transfer equipment. They transfer supplies between buildings, or they can go to pick up a load of, vegetables at a greenhouse or something to come back to process. And here I have a pallet trailer. That's what that trailer is. That Invest in America. That's pallets. And then that's a smaller trailer for making deliveries or doing shuttle runs or, running errands for the plant, supplies, whatnot. We move over here there's our Mrs. Smith's. Mrs. Smith's is the private fleet for the frozen foods plant. The extra lease truck, the frozen foods plant is going to be a lot of, in this case, we don't have 53-foot trailers on the layout. The biggest trailer I have is 48-foot. But a frozen foods plant is going to have a lot of, 53 or 48-foot trailers. Here, a lot of the stuff comes in through the rail line, obviously. But on this side, these are the empty trailers that are waiting to be loaded. This is the loaded trailer that's going to go out. So if you're modeling, a frozen foods plant, you're going to want to have a lot of 48 or 53-foot trailers. You can have, there are some dry van trailers because they have packaging or cleaning supplies or pallets or dry ingredients perhaps that the place would need. In this case, I also have two 28-foot trailers, and those are used to shuttle ingredients between the ingredient building and the packaging and shipping and receiving building. What, sir? What? You want lunch or something? Okay. All right. All right, we'll handle that. Anyhow, we also have a straight truck here at Mrs. Smith's. It's not that uncommon. Sandridge Foods in Medina has one. Sometimes these bigger industries will have a straight truck, and they use that for smaller orders or to pick up, a pallet or two of something that they need. Maybe they get an ingredient. There's an ingredient that they need that they don't need a huge truckload. They only need a pallet or two, or they have smaller customers, that get smaller deliveries, maybe a skid here, a skid there. In this case, Target stores is actually a smaller customer of the plant, and their order usually just goes on the straight truck. Or our smaller customers, we have a couple small food distributors that buy frozen foods from the plant here, and so if they only get one or two pallets, we'll put a couple, 3 or 4 stops on the straight truck, and we use it for multiple stops. Then the rental truck is the day cab. The silver Ford with the extra trailer is our rental trailer. That belongs to the frozen foods plant. That's their day cab. Truckload customers like this, like for instance, this frozen foods plant has a Walmart distribution center. That's its customer. Well, that distribution center doesn't receive anything by rail. It all comes in by truck, but it's not so far away that we need to send a sleeper cab there. So we have the day cab truck shuttle the 3 loads from the plant to the Walmart distribution center every day. So when you're making truck fleets, think of what industry you're modeling and what kind of trailers they need and what size trailers they would use if they would use them at all. And, that's how we do it. Then obviously over here, these are all cargo trucks for shipping general freight, dry van trailers, like Conrail's trail van service. That was like Conrail's trail van service. That was their door-to-door service. And then this is our actual for hire trucking company. They've got some refrigerator trailers, dry van trailers. That's some trucks, sleeper cab trucks, mostly in a day cab truck, and that's to meet the needs of whatever the customers have. So, all right, see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.